Hello friends. Let's talk about accreditation, okay? A lot of y'all have been commenting on my videos recently and asking me about the U.S. Career Institute and whether or not it is accredited. So I thought let's just go ahead and put all the information in one video so we're all on the same page. So that's what this video is going to be about today. If this is something you think you'll be interested in, go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so y'all, I am going to put a video of what I'm looking at on my phone over here somewhere to the side, so that you guys can see and follow along with me as I am reading and as I am reading off this information. Before I start with that though, I want to let you guys know that accreditation is kind of like a spectrum. So with this medical assistant certification, there's not like one or two specific accreditation companies that every program has to fall under in order for a school to be deemed accredited, right? You would think that they would just have one company that everybody has to get accredited through, but there's not. So it's really weird, but we're going to explain it today. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that accreditation is a spectrum and not everybody has to fall into one category. All these medical assistant certifications are accredited in their own ways. It just may not be in the way that you thought it needed to be accredited. So let's go ahead and get into it. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and put this on the screen. So right now I am on provocollege.edu right now, you guys. So this is where I got all my information from when I was doing research on the medical assistant program in the first place. So here we go, the top medical assistant certifications. Here we have the primary certifications for medical assistants include the following credentials: CMA, RMA, Ncma, and CCMA, and 5 specialty certifications. So let's go ahead and see how they break this down. So the certified medical assistant, that is the CMA. So whenever you get a CMA, you are taking your exam through the AAMA, which is the American Association of Medical Assistants. That is the certification exam that CMAs have to take in order to become certified medical assistants, right? So it says here that the CMA is the most popular and most widely recognized. So in order to become a CMA, the only way to take and sit for the certification exam for CMAs through AAMA is to attend a program that is accredited by the CAAHEP or the ABHES. That is the only certification that requires you graduate from a program that is accredited by one of these two entities. The only one. So that means RMA, Ncma, and CCMA do not require you come from a program that is accredited by these two organizations, okay? I think that has caused a lot of confusion because this is one of the requirements of the AAMA, the American Association of Medical Assistants. This is one of their requirements, but that does not mean that it is a requirement of all nationally certified medical assistant organizations. It is just something that the AAMA specifically requires. So if you want to become a CMA, just a certified medical assistant, then yes, you will need to go to a program that is accredited by one of these two programs. If you don't care, or if you are not specifically seeking out CMA and you're seeking out one of the other three, RMA, Ncma, or CCMA, then you don't have to worry about it. You have to worry about, their requirements, which we'll get to that in a minute. But I just wanted to clarify that really quick. Let's take and pass the CMA certification exam. And the CMA can be renewed every 5 years. Recertification can be accomplished by taking the recertification exam or by earning continuing education credits. This exam ranges from $125 to $250, depending on how quickly you register for the exam. following graduation. And the CMA exam is 200 multiple choice questions. So here we go. It says, who should take the CMA exam? So let's just read through what they have on here. The CMA certification is one of the most widely recognized for medical assistants, and the requirements are simple and straightforward. If you're looking for an exam with the best bang for the buck and you've met the prerequisites, this certification is a great place to start. Before making your final selection, however, be sure to double check your potential employer's requirements to make certain the CMA certification is needed or will be accepted. So yes, I've come across a few jobs who have a preference on which certification they want you to have. But not all jobs are like that. They won't all require you have a certification from a specific or a certain company. It just depends on your area, you know. But if in your area, most of the time all the medical assistant jobs want you to have this CMA from AAMA, then you should probably go ahead and do that. This is the most popular one. It is the longer one. These typically take a year to 2 years to complete. And they're typically going to be your more expensive programs just because they're very extensive, and a lot of them have externships afterwards that they set up for you. So these are going to be more expensive, but you're going to get some more is going to come out of these programs. So you're paying for the extra help. That also can be one of the reasons why some employers like this certification over others, is just because, you know, the classes are much longer typically, so a lot of the times they feel more confident in your abilities and in your skills when you come from this program. So all right, y'all, let's go on next to the RMA. So let's read what they have here. The RMA certification is the second most recognized certification for medical assistants. While the CMA was established first and is more widely known, the RMA covers much of the same material and provides an excellent demonstration of your skills as a medical assistant. The RMA certification is provided through the AMT, American Medical Technologists. So, RMA requirements. So, requirements for the RMA include graduation from an approved medical assistant program. This program must be approved by the U.S. Department of Education, the Council for Higher Education Accreditation, or by the AMT Board of Directors. Or graduation from a formal medical training service in the U.S. military, or candidates with 5 years of experience as a medical assistant, or candidates who hold another medical assistant certificate from a qualified organization. So this is kind of what I was talking about when I said accreditation is a spectrum. So they all have kind of like different organizations that they are accredited by. All right, so hopefully that make y'all feel a little better, because all of these different certifications have accreditation requirements that are completely, totally different from one another. So hopefully that'll help y'all feel a little bit better. Okay, so yes, those are the requirements for the RMA. So who should take the RMA exam? The RMA exam is very similar to the CMA certification and is recognized by most employers, though it's important to check the individual requirements of your potential employer before deciding on the certification. For example, medical offices in Connecticut do not currently recognize the RMA. However, if you have already accumulated several years of MA experience, are a veteran of the U.S. military, or have already earned certification as a medical assistant by another organization, the RMA may be the best choice for you. Then it gets into preparation, and let's talk about the Ncma exam requirements. So, the requirements for the Ncma include graduate within the last 10 years of a medical assistant program approved by the NCCT. So for this exam, for this certification, you have to take a program that has been approved by the NCCT. So that is also different from the last two. Or an applicant must be a foreign RN or physician with documented U.S. equivalency. Or applicant must be a medical assistant instructor with 10 or more years of experience. Or applicant must have completed a medical assistant program within the U.S. military, or possess 2 years or more of experience working as a medical assistant. You should take the Ncma exam. So if you have necessary work experience or training, you may already qualify for the Ncma exam. The cost of the Ncma is also slightly less than both the CMA and RMA. While not as universally recognized as the CMA or RMA exams, the Ncma certification may be a better choice if you plan to work with patients directly. But as always, check with your preferred employer first. Okay, y'all, and now let's go down to the CCMA, the Certified Clinical Medical Assistant, which is what I hold. So the Certified Clinical Medical Assistant certification is offered through the National Health Career Association and is similar to the Ncma in its requirements. And like the Ncma, the CCMA is also geared toward medical assistants who wish to be more involved with clinical procedures than with the overall office administration. So the exam requirements. In order to take the CCMA exam, examinees must hold a high school diploma. Other requirements include graduate of an accredited medical assisting program, or applicant must complete an approved apprenticeship program, or applicant must have completed a medical assistant program within the U.S. military, or applicant must possess 1 year or more experience working as a medical assistant. So, Rma certification exams are accredited through the National Commission for Certifying Agencies, NCCA. So you guys, in order for the U.S. Career Institute to allow their students to sit for the NHA exam, NHA had to go through and go over their program and make sure that it met their standards in order for them to send students to sit for their exam. So, according to NHA, the U.S. Career Institute is teaching their students the necessary information that will help them pass, the certification exam. So, the U.S. Career Institute is real. It is accredited through distance learning because these are fully remote classes. All these classes are online. So they have a distance certification because, you're not in person. You're not going and sitting down in front of a teacher for the class. You're not going into a lab and practicing these things in person. So that's why they're accredited through distance learning, because it is a distance learning institution, as opposed to these other schools like the CMA. They're definitely going to have in-person components to their class. Of course, COVID might have, put a hinder in it. But normally these 2-year programs and these longer programs have in-person components. The majority of the class is going to be in person. The RMA probably going to have in-person components. So of course they're not going to have their accreditation by distance learning because it's not a distance learning type of institution. But the U.S. Career Institute is completely online. So that's why they have to get their accreditation through distance learning. In order to determine whether or not the course is doing what it's supposed to do and teaching students what they're supposed to teach them in order for them to be successful, well, that is NHA's job, because that is the entity they have chosen to, prep their students for, NHA. So they have to meet NHA standards, and NHA has to meet the National Commission for Certifying Agencies standards. So hopefully that helps you understand it a little bit better. None of these certifications have accreditation by the same person. None of them do. There is no Hail Mary of accreditation standards. There is no one organization where if you're not accredited by this organization, then you ain't real. That's not what this is. So it really just depends on the school and where they want to seek accreditation from. That's really all it's about. Some employers and some people may value certain certifications and certain accreditations over other ones. That may be true. Some people may. But overall, you can get accredited by whomever you feel like you want to be accredited by. If you want to know my personal experience, I chose the U.S. Career Institute and I chose to get the NHA certification because whenever I was trying to get this certification, I was a full-time college student going to get a bachelor's degree. So I didn't have time to kind of like stop my life and do a 2-year, 1-year certification program. And honestly, I really didn't want to spend that much time on a certification exam, for something that I wasn't looking for a career out of, like a long-time career. So I was looking for this certification so that I could get out there in the field as quickly as possible and start earning hours so that I could be a good candidate for my master's degree, you know, should I be accepted, so I could be a good candidate to get accepted into PA school. So that's what I was looking for. I was looking for something A, short, and B, financially feasible. So, because I couldn't break the bank for a medical assistant program, and I didn't have money to break the bank, and I did not have the time to stop and do a very long program. So the U.S. Career Institute was great in that it was very flexible. I could work around my own schedule, around my school schedule, around my work schedule, and you know, I didn't have to take too much time out of the other things that I was doing in my life to do the U.S. Career Institute course. And I was able to do it quickly, you know, just because I was already in the flow of doing like schoolwork, so I was able to get through it relatively fast, and I could get out into the field really quick. So, and just like that website said, this certification is more focused on clinical work, which is what I was really interested in. So you have to make the best decision for you. Are you looking for a long program, a short program? Are you okay with paying $4 to $8 grand for a program? You know, if they're giving you the externship and giving you, you know, the lab clinical experience, are you willing to pay that much money? It all depends on you and your circumstances. So I made the best decision for me and my circumstances at the time, but that may not be the best decision for you. So I really encourage you to do your research on the different types of certifications that you can get, because like somebody else said under my comments in my YouTube videos, in their area, most of their employers are wanting that CMA or that RMA. So if that's what your situation is, then you might want to look into that. That just wasn't what my situation was, so that is why I chose not to pursue that particular certification. So, you know, that is my story and I'm sticking to it. Hopefully this will help you guys a little bit more in understanding like how this kind of works, how accreditation kind of works. There are like thousands of accreditation companies out there, you know, and pretty much programs, schools, they all can just choose, you know, whose accreditation are we gonna go for. So it's up to them, and then it's up to you to make the decision on which accreditation company you feel like is the most valuable. Which one do you feel like is the most quality? Which one do you feel like is the best suited for you and your needs and what you need in your life right now? So yeah, I hope that helped y'all a lot. Make sure you like this video, subscribe if you look around and you like what you see. We're talking all things medical assistant, all things education, all things PA, all things health. If you like that, then go ahead and stick around, hit that subscribe button, and join the family, friend. Go ahead, you know you want to click that button. So I love y'all. I will see y'all next week. Have a great rest of your night.